The first reaction when it came to you, because you've done action in Raj and DK's A Family Man too, but this is a different kind of action as well, and it's a lot of physical action. What was your first reaction when you were told that you are going to do Citadel?
When I got the opportunity to play Honey, I was absolutely fine actually. So I was elated, I was overjoyed, I did a dance, and I was extremely excited. I didn't think that a few months later I would be the same person who requests Raj and DK to please choose another heroine to play Honey, because it was not possible. I believed that I couldn't do it because of the circumstance that I was in. So I actually sent him Kiara's picture and Kriti's pictures, and who else? I remember sending them like 4, and like, oh my God, she is so hot. Just look at her. She will be amazing doing action. Please, I can't do it. I really can't do it. And they said, yeah, we know them. You don't have to introduce us to them. We know who they are.
But they didn't budge actually. They waited for you. One thing that I remember, because we've connected only after you've been diagnosed. I did an interview with you during Family Man 2, but that was just an interview, and I must tell you that I was very intimidated before meeting you.
Please,
I swear I
you
was.
just stop. There's no word called intimidation in your dictionary. Please stop throwing these big words around.
Go and see that interview. I was actually intimidated. But after that, I got to know that time I didn't know you as a person. You were just this amazing superstar that I was gonna go and meet for the first time. I didn't know you, so I was also in my best of behavior, I feel. And after that, I think
And it all went downhill after.
उसके बाद से जो करना था वो मैंने किया है. But during that period when you were going through something, one thing that you had told me once is that everybody you were working with at that point understood your situation professionally and personally, and they decided to wait for you. How important is it for an artist? You were ready to let it go to somebody else, but nobody was ready to replace you.
I think I do believe that sometimes when God puts you in extraordinarily difficult circumstances, He also gives you this one kind of life jacket to hang on to. I don't think He completely abandons you. And I think that the people I ended up working with in Citadel, whether it's Rajan DK and Sita Menon, they were my life jackets, because you need to have some kind of reason to fight. Otherwise this condition is such a condition that it can completely destroy you, and you have to fight every single day. So I think that them not giving up on me made me get off my bed and fight, because I did not want to let them down. And sometimes and I did not know that being in front of the camera can also heal me, because for that time, when the time between action and cut, something just happens to me and I forget about every single thing and just want to give my 100. It's just this moment of complete honesty to the craft and nothing else. No problems, no pains, nothing else. Just absolute honesty in front of the camera. And I think that kept healing me every single day. So anyone who is going through a problem, and we cry out to God and say, you're not giving me a break, you're not giving me a life jacket, and I'm sure He does. We just sometimes fail to see those life jackets and we ignore them and we end up wallowing in our problems. I'm really grateful and glad that I was able to understand that, okay, this is a life jacket and I need to hold on to it.
Why is it like this is a conversation that I keep having with you. And I saw this interview of yours where you spoke about that you've also grown up with a lot of insecurities, and that's why you kept questioning yourself. You said that every time I have delivered so many blockbuster films, but anytime somebody would come and ask me, oh, you've done this, and I would push the credit onto others, right? How long did it take for you to come out of it, and why were you doing that? Why was this imposter syndrome completely haunting you?
All my life, like growing up, I've had to fight for validation. Um, my father was kind of like, I think most Indian parents are like that. They think that they're protecting you and they will be like, you're actually not that smart. This is just the standard of Indian education. Yeah, my father has actually told me that. You're actually not that smart. This is just the standard of Indian education. That's why even you can get a first rank. Welcome to Indian parents. So, and when you say that to a child, I really believed that for the longest time that I'm not smart and I'm not good enough. And it was it. So when my first movie released, EMI Chaisavi, and it became a blockbuster, and suddenly people were they were showering all this praise, and I'm just used to fighting for validation and fighting to get someone to say something nice about me, and suddenly they were doing all of these things, all of this praise was being showered, and I didn't know how to accept it, and because that's not what I was used to. So I think when success does two things to you: either you think you are God and like you are invincible, or you go into this incredibly dark place where you feel like you are not worth all of this love and um, this praise that you are getting. And that's what happened to me, and I was just so scared that people were going to wake up and realize that I'm not all that cool, I'm not all that talented, and I was just struggling with that insecurity that I need to do something better, I need to look better, I need to do something better so that I'll be worth all of this adulation and praise, and that just made me spiral. Uh, it it made me go through a absolute downward spiral, and it took me a long time for me to unlearn all of the things that I learned growing up and truly believe in my self-worth. It took me, I would say, 10 years or so, 12 years or more than that, I think, to realize that I'm not perfect. I'm never going to be perfect. And but imperfect is pretty cool too. I mean, like, yeah. And and here I was struggling, when I was initially became a star. I didn't look like any of the other girls. I was not tall, I was not fair, I didn't have like these curves and all of that. And I was looking all of that, I don't look anything like them. Oh God, oh God. And I was always comparing myself to all of these extremely beautiful actresses. And I swear to you that the time that things changed was when I started comparing myself to my previous work, to the previous day. Okay, this was you yesterday. Are you better today? Are you better in your next film? Are you doing something better in your next? And as soon as I made that shift, I was able to appreciate the work of my peers. I was able to love them. I was able to respect them. I was able to publicly congratulate them for their successes and their work. And I was able to grow as me, as a better version of me every single day. So I think that shift was truly, truly important for me.
Every time I speak to you, there is a point that I keep telling her. Yesterday I called her and I told her that, listen, I've watched 4.5 episodes in the night and only 1.5 episodes are left. And you tell her the nicest things about her. There is belief, a lot of it has changed, but they'll be like, okay, but what did you not like about it? Why is that? I've never seen an actor really ask, you liked all of this, but what did you not like about it?
How else does one improve? I mean, how else do you improve? You need I do not surround myself by yes people. In fact, I should, because they're starting to get really annoying. The people around me saying no, 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 horrible, horrible, horrible all the time. I really would like some yes people actually around me. I understand. I can see that there is growth, there is improvement. I recently saw an interview of mine from many, many years ago where I said, "Action me, no way." And I was like, wow, I said that. And I definitely believed it when I said it. I said that there's no way that people would believe me doing action. And I know that that girl who said that believed it. So I've really come a long way.
Samantha Ruthless Prabhu.
This is Rana's fault. He's the one who gave me this name and now it's stuck.
But Sam, today you are standing in a position of power. When you started off without any piggybacking, without any godfather, without knowing anything, and you said that even when you were having blockbusters, you couldn't take or own up to the credit, right? Has there ever been moments, I don't want you to name, but has there ever been moments where you've been made to feel like a liability? Because there's a portion in that, in the series where you come into the team and somebody tells you, but you're a woman, you're going to be a liability. Has there ever been moments like that?
So I don't think there's been a direct mention of it. But in many ways, this industry can make you feel incredibly small. So if you already have demons that you're fighting with, and then you end up being in this industry, it is going to be a hard journey. And yes, this industry, it's an industry of hero worshipping, and they make that very, very clear. Yeah, so, but the journey has been great, and I think that there is conversation now. There's important dialogue right now, and look at Honey Bunny. Usually in an action genre film or series, it's always the male lead at the center of it all. He's always the one protecting the girl and saying all the cool dialogues and saving the day. It's always the case, but this is such an important moment for us that I get to do all the cool things that he's doing, which is such an important step forward.
It's also, is it also a reason why there's a shift in how you are looking towards yourself in films? Because I don't think you will ever be playing a damsel anymore, because today if you see the reviews, people are calling you and hailing you as the new age female action superstar. And like you rightly said, that there have been very, very few projects that have actually given women and any other female artist the opportunity to even try out or attempt something like this. Do you feel that you are at the cusp of change, especially because your character speaks a lot for women throughout?
Right now, everything I do, whether it's the businesses that I invest in, whether it's the roles that I pick, there is a certain amount of responsibility that I have put on myself, that it has to be an extension of who I am as a person. And also, especially with roles that I pick, it has to be an apt representation of women in society, because more often than not, what is projected on screen is far from reality. And women on screen are always, their identity is defined by the men, by the male protagonists. It's never their own individual journey. So I do believe that although my projects might be far apart, much lesser than before, they're going to always reflect truth and honesty, who I am and who the woman of today is.
Absolutely. Can we have a round of applause for that? There's a part, if whoever has watched the entire series, there's a part where Varun Dhawan actually looks at Samantha and says, will she always call me, Kashvi actually, the one who plays their daughter, calls him Bunny after meeting him. And he says, will she always call me Bunny? And you look at him and you say that I taught her that she's an equal. What you're saying today is also a reflection of what your character has been saying. You play a woman from the 2000s, 1990s then. There has been paradigm shifts for women in the society at large, not just in the industry. But when you started off, it wasn't the same. In 2010s, women were treated as objects of desire and merely that. How did you deal with that? Because you didn't have a godfather. Sometimes, has there been moments where you've had to do things, although maybe your heart didn't align with, because you had to just be and do what you were supposed to do and you were asked to do?
It took a lot of making mistakes on my own and learning from them. Like, I mean, if I had a godfather or if I had a family, I probably would have reached this position where I am much sooner. Instead of making all of those mistakes, learning from them, watching myself on screen, unlearning the acting mistakes that I was making. So it took me a long while to get here, and I probably wouldn't have if I had, you know, what you say, godfather.
Godfather. But you didn't have it, right?
No, I didn't.
Did the initial limelight get to you? You're not a person who's always like, who wants to be in front of people, who wants to do things. You're not the one who will. I have seen people our age like go hands on with PR, and you would like shy away from everything. You'll be like, जो लोग बोल रहे हैं, जो लोग सोच रहे हैं, उनको सोचने दो. You're not aggressive with that. Initially, did the limelight, did the whole prying eyes get to you ever?
Yeah, of course, of course. It still gets to me. Like, every time I see a camera on my face, I kind of have this little shudder. I know that people think that like the paps are called by celebs, but I honestly have never done that. And so every time I am taken by surprise, and it does. It still instills a little bit of fear, and I shudder a little because obviously also I come from the south. There are no, paps there, so it's not something that I was used to, or I've been made familiar with. So this is a new thing now, and I'm very used to turning it on and off, like post work, post shoot. I am extremely, how do I say this? I mean, there's no fancy star quality about me. I have like the most I can't actually say simple. I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves and say big words like I'm extremely normal. Not no.
Extremely real for sure.
Yeah, so I switch off. It's all I'm trying to say is that I switch off when I'm not working, and so I am left vulnerable when I'm caught off guard, by a camera or by someone taking my picture or video. So I'm still not used to it, and I don't encourage it. I'm not fond of it. I'm not fond of that attention a lot. I don't hardly. It's because of you that I'm doing this. I'm not fond of hearing my own voice. So
It's time you get used to it.
so there are things that I love about being a star, and there are things that is not my cup of tea.
Still not your cup of tea.
Still not my cup of tea. Yeah.
But that's because of who you are as a person. See, मैंने नहीं बोला. But Sam, there's something that I want to ask you is that a lot of actresses who have come on this show or otherwise have always said that the initial years, because they didn't have power, like I said, that you had to do a lot of things because you were in positions of power. They've also been very easily replaced. Priyanka Chopra plays the lead in Citadel, and now she had gone and said that she was told that women, you're a woman, you're a heroine, and heroines are easily replaceable in films. Today that is changing. But in the beginning of your career, did it ever happen where, you were almost doing a film and you were told you were doing a film and you were replaced without even like giving you proper reasoning?
Actually, no. But I don't know why I did this, that I had a policy for myself that if I was being offered a project that involved me replacing someone else, I would not take up that project. So that was one of the rules that I had set for myself very early on in my career itself. So yeah.
So any film that you actually didn't do because of that?
Yeah.
Which one?
No, I can't say that because they ended up keeping the original heroine, and I don't want to.
Oh, lovely then. Then that's a great change, yeah. Thank God you made sure that nobody got replaced. It's a great thing. I wish there were more women who did that.
I think that you always have to be the change you want to see. And that's what I try to do.
You know, you are a sense of or an epitome of power to a lot of people. You may not know it. Till the time I came and told you, you didn't know it. But you have unknowingly given a lot of power, a lot of tenacity, a lot of patience to people. Were you always this patient, or did experiences make you that?
Absolutely not. I was a terror. No, of course not. I didn't start off being this way. I've made horrible mistakes. You've named the mistake, I have made it. Uh, and it took, I, it, I think I've said this before that like failures really make you a better person. And life can teach you things through failures. So for me, failures have really, really made me evolve quicker, I would say. And now the little things don't matter really. And I don't know actually how I, but it took a while to get here. I didn't start off this way, no.
You know, when you speak about you battling an autoimmune disease, mm, the first time you got to know about it, you were working relentlessly, right? And it did put a bit of pause. Your body had to like pause for a second. As an artist, did that hit you in the beginning? How did you find out? What were the symptoms that actually like drove you to do those tests and find out? And what was your reaction?
Actually, I had it's weird. So I had finished shooting for Coffee with Karan, and I was going back, flying back to Hyderabad with my business partner Himank, and I had had a very. It was a crazy 6 months. Like it was more than 6 months. It was about 8 months of just you know, post the separation. It was just world was going upside down. So I remember telling him on the flight back, I finally feel a sense of calm, and I'm ready now to work and focus on my career. And I feel a sense of calm. The next day, I had shoot. I was filming for Kushi, and the next day, it got like immense fatigue. I thought I usually work out at like early morning, but I think my body went into shutdown. Like, so yeah, from then on it started deteriorating, and I did not know what was happening, and it took a while for us to figure out what was happening. And I think after that everybody knows.
It takes a lot of time actually to figure out if it's actually autoimmune. Like people don't know this. It took me months, like 2 months, to figure out that it was not the food. And because I was getting rashes, I had urticaria, and it started around July, a little bit of it. In October, it went into like full mad zone where I was on a junket in Amritsar with my friends, and Rashita is right there. She was working in a different company that time. They have seen me like break into like hives achanak, and it will be like so itchy, and all you will feel like, okay, it's an allergy. Then I did an allergy test, and I got to know that I'm allergic to certain things like dog dander, tomato, weird. And I thought that, okay, let me stop these food items and it will get better. Never got better. Only and only got worse, till I was told that this is autoimmune, and it is because of the emotional upheavals that have happened in my life, and it just made me also calm down. I think there is a Nayandeep which is a very bouncy, jumpy, XYZ all the time, huh? All the time, like trying to be like, if I'm not happy, also I'm smiling, because okay, people love me being happy. And then there was a Nayandeep who decided that no, I don't need to be happy. If I'm not happy, I'm upset. And that shift happened, and yeah, and it's difficult, guys. If you guys know anybody who's going through something like that, it's difficult because you don't know what is happening and why it's happening. Initially, you became an epitome of strength to many, but initially, How did you give strength to yourself? Who did you derive it from?
I mean, I went to a very dark place. I wanted to give it all up. I went to, I mean, the darkest place that one can go to when the hits a fan. And then when I realized that, okay, um, I really truly don't have the guts to call it a day. So now, if I really don't have the guts to do that, I might as well work on getting better. And I stopped. I think it was this time where I just went in front of there's this day like Linga Bhairavi Devi. She is uh, a goddess I really put my trust in. I think there was this moment where I just sat in meditation and said, okay, I'm going to do this every day. Every time I feel like it's over for me and there's no getting better, I'm going to sit here in meditation in front of you and I'm just going to give all of these dark and sad feelings and you just look after me. And I just consistently started sitting for sometimes 2 hours also in front of her in meditation. And every day, somehow, I had a little bit more sanity, a little more clarity, a little more calm, a little more patience than I did the previous day. Uh, I had slowly, I started to do my own research, and the anxiety was reducing. And some people might say, might question it, obviously. But if whoever you are, if you are religious, if you are not religious, sometimes we don't have all the answers. We don't have all the answers, and neither do our parents or neither do our friends. There is nothing that anyone can do sometimes. You just have to. I think what I was doing was channeling. Finally, I was looking inside for strength. I was not looking outside for strength. I was not asking my doctors when it's going to go away, or telling my mother, Ma, why is this happening to me? Or calling my friends every 5 minutes saying, I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared, which was what I was doing. I suddenly went calm and looked inside and said, where is this inner strength that everyone keeps talking about finding? I need to find it. And somewhere along the way, I think I found it.
I think you I think you did a great job for finding it for all of us. This is about you. I remember that you had to come out and promote a film, which was Yashoda, and it was in Telugu. And I didn't understand anything. I didn't understand the language, but what I understood were the emotions. Autoimmune is a place where you're given so many medications that your body takes a different turn. Doesn't matter to a lot of people, but when you're in front of camera, 5% for me, but 100% for you, because you're an artist, people are looking at you. It does get to you, because people who don't know you, they'll look at you and like, you gaining weight? Looking nice, this weight is looking nice on you. And even if it is, at that point you know that you're not gaining weight for the right reasons, and it does get to you. I have seen you battle with that for the longest time, that you came out for an event and then there were comments, then there were people who literally shamed you for how you looked and wearing those glasses. Did it bother you? You actually gave it back, but did it bother you internally ever?
I mean, there are days when it bothers me, but it bothers me a lot lesser now. Um, because, so let's be honest, whoever we are, whether it's Nayandeep, whether it's Samantha, we all influence people around us. Some people on a very large scale, some people even in their homes say, probably you influence your mom, your dad, your siblings in a certain way, good or bad, happy or sad. Like some people, their very presence can make you a little nervous and a little withdrawn just by their existence. Now on social media, I do believe that people influence people towards love or towards hate. there are a lot of people in influential positions who influence people towards hate. And although people might ask me, why do you choose to be so open, so transparent about your problems? You know, people are attacking you, people are judging you, people are calling, saying that it's sympathy, people are saying, oh, you're just trying to milk this. But if I believe that I have, that people who follow me or people who love me, they are influenced towards positivity, they are influenced towards love, they are influenced towards empathizing with other people's pain, other people's conditions. I do believe that I influence people around me towards love. And
You do.
and if there is anyone out there who needs to balance this table of love and hate, they should go for it. They shouldn't be quiet about it. This world really needs more people who can spread positivity, spread love, and get people to see the light than the dark and the hate. Yeah. So it is a responsibility. It's not really, shouldn't be really a choice. It is a responsibility that you have.
But in any situation in life, like you said, the labels, there were many, many labels attached to you through and through, right? When you were going through your personal struggles, medically, personally, there were many labels attached to you. Did that ever bother you? Like, there are moments where, even though you, like you rightly said, that we are all humans at the end of the day, right? And unfortunately, we live in a society which is so patriarchal in nature that anytime something goes wrong, a woman gets subjected to, I'm not saying men don't, men do, but a woman gets subjected to a lot more judgment and a lot more shaming, not just online, even in real life.
No, it's absolutely true. I lived with that for many, many years. Many things were said about me that were absolutely untrue. And there were many times when I wanted to come out and say, there were many, many times where I was so tempted to say, this is not true, let me tell you the truth. But what held me back, I remember having this conversation with myself when things were really, really crappy and they were really, really um, absolute lies being spread. And I remember having this conversation with myself saying, okay, you are tempted to come out and tell your side of the story and make, so what do you gain from it? You gain a bunch of people who are so fickle, who, okay, you tell your side of the story, they love you for a minute, and then maybe like 3 days later you do something stupid and they'll go back to hating you again. What about, I wanted to resist that. Okay, how does it feel to be, can you not live with the fact that your friends and your family know the truth? And it's okay if people think that you think all of these things that are not true about you. Isn't it okay? It's fine. Why do you need, why, this again goes to my root cause of all of my problems, the constant need for validation. I wanted to fight that urge to be validated by this group, that I wanted to fight that urge that meant that these people will continue hating me for all of these lies, and it's okay. It's okay. Let me fight that. Because all my life I wanted to be loved and validated and appreciated. That. It's okay. So yeah, I mean, I still haven't said anything. So whoever believes whatever they believe, it's up to them.
I wanted to speak to Kresha a long time ago when you had put out that video of her redesigning the wedding dress and making it into that black outfit that you did. It takes a
You're going for everything, huh?
uh-huh. It takes a lot to do that. To come out of that and to move on, and then to like be in that space where you're like, I'm gonna do it. But my question to you is that today, given whatever you've been through, whatever you've not been through, are you cynical about love? Do you love the same way, or are there changes in Samantha?
Let me tell you the reason why I did that was because, when, I don't know, I can't speak about men because I'm not a man, so I'm speaking for women. And when a woman goes through a divorce, there's a lot of shame and stigma attached to that. I get a lot of comments, saying secondhand, used, what do you call that? Wasted life. And y- you're pushed into a corner where you're supposed to feel like you're a failure. You're supposed to feel guilt. You're supposed to feel shame that you were once married and now you're not. And I do believe it can be really, really hard for families and girls who have gone through that. Hard for the girls, hard for their families as well. So the reason why I did that was because I wanted to, and initially that hurt. It really hurt. And then I decided to flip it. I'll own it. Yeah, I am separated. I am divorced. Things haven't been a fairy tale. But that does not mean that I sit in a corner, cry about it, and never ever have the courage to live again. And I wanted that to be it wasn't any kind of revenge or anything. I know people, it really wasn't a ginormous, it wasn't like any kind of, that. Although it looked like it, but it wasn't. Um, it was that, yes, this has happened. And I know it. I'm not trying to hide from it. This is it. But it doesn't mean that my life ends there. It begins where it ends. And I'm very, very happy right now. I'm happy. I have grown so much, and I'm doing incredible work, and I'm with incredible people, and I'm looking forward to the next phase of my life.
Absolutely. But you taught me something. Stop being kind to people. Yes. No, not stop being kind. Guys, before it becomes another meme, there's a line to it. Stop being kind to people who are, then I can't say it, but at that point I really needed it because it was coming from a professional space of a lot of insecurities, jealousy, envy, getting to know things, rubbish, absolute rubbish. But do you feel like, regardless of this incident, I'm talking about regardless, it's in any sphere of life, do you feel that kindness and silence for the sake of sanity is often misrepresented or misinterpreted as weakness? And then they are like, oh, इसी में खराबी है इसलिए कुछ बोल नहीं रही, kind हो रही है and all that.
Yeah, what do you guys think? I think, yeah. I mean, always they. But then again, in the end, what happens? Like, I mean, I'm sitting here. I'm okay. I survived it, and that's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But when you said that you survived it, what are the lifestyle changes that Samantha had to make to survive this and become Samantha 2.0? Or is Samantha still the same Samantha?
Oh yeah, completely changed. I don't recognize the person I once was. Don't recognize her at all. Yeah.